We are live. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Halloween Eve. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. And I have the latest four comics I'm going to be sending in to PGX to get graded this month. I do this each and every month. I have a deal with PGX that I started basically about 8 years ago. I tried it with CGC. They never responded. Same thing with CBCS, never responded. And love doing this where I can send in four books every month. I've been doing it, like I said, every month for about 8 years now, since I was back in the days of living in New York, where I could send them in to get pressed, dry cleaned, graded, of course, signature verification if need be, and adding the grader's notes onto the back of the slab, which was my idea, and always a shout out and much gratitude to Daniel Patterson, the owner of PGX, for not only listening to my idea, but actually implementing it. So if you want to add grader's notes to the back of your PGX slabs, you will not see it on their website. You will not see it on their invoices. But if you write the code We Love Comics Grader's Notes onto your invoice and request the Grader's Notes on the back of the slab, it's $5 per charge, but you do have to write it in on the invoice. It's exclusive to We Love Comics patriots out there in the comic book community. So, also, if you've never used PGX before, if you send in 10 or more books and you use the code We Love Comics Free Press, again, not on their website, not on the invoice, you have to write it in. They will press one of the books for you absolutely free. Unless you specify which one to have pressed and dry cleaned, they will just randomly pick one. So I always recommend telling them which one you would like. So I do not have any contracts signed, so I am under no obligation to say anything other than my shared experience. I wouldn't do this for 8 years if it was bad. So all I can tell you is you could listen to people who have never used them before and just, spread rumors and misinformation online, or you can actually listen to people who have experience and watch videos like mine and many others, and then draw your own conclusions from there. So Poppy is in the house. Good to see you. He says good afternoon. Same to you as well. Keeping up with the Halloween themed thumbnails. If you'd like to critique this thumbnail, positive or negative, I always appreciate your comments. And let's give a shout out to my paid Patreon members. If you want a shout out every single video, your name up on this board, you can support my channel, which also helps all the stray animals that I take care of at patreon.com/. We Love Comics. Any contribution is appreciated. So it's not like you need a certain amount to get your name up there. No matter what you contribute, your name will be up there. And also the newest thing is every time I do an auction, I always do a week before a sneak peek video. If you're one of my paid Patreon members, you get access. You can message me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and get the list of the books that is going for sale a week before anybody else can see it. So even before the sneak peek video, so you can actually send a offer on any of the books, and if I accept it, it never sees the light of day in the auction. So especially if you're somebody who purchases from me on a regular basis for my auctions, that's something that will save you a lot of money because you don't have to worry about being outbid or getting to a bidding war or missing the auction because maybe just you forgot or some other plans happened on that specific day. So patreon.com/. We Love Comics. So shout out to everybody listed there, by the way. I always appreciate each and every one of them for their continued contributions and anybody that joins. Five more people, we got giveaways. So every time I get 20 paid members in a given month, I will do a random giveaway where I will randomly select one of the paid Patreon members and you could see the different tiers of giveaways. I will mail it anywhere in the world, so you don't have to worry about if you live outside the United States, and I will pay for the shipping. So for every $2 you contribute, you get one entry. So the more you contribute, the more chances you have to win. So with that being said, let's show the four books. Keep in mind when I make my grade predictions, I base it on what I think it's going to be after a pressing and dry cleaning. Obviously, I'm not going to be going over every book with a magnifying glass and a fine-tooth comb. So I tend to be pretty much spot on over the years for the grades. You can check out many videos. Every single video I've ever done sending in to PGX and getting them back from PGX is here on my channel. So if you're bored and want to check out a few of them, you can see over the years, I've actually been pretty consistent. But these four books are books that I've never sent into PGX before, so I thought I would change it up and show some books that I think some of them have potential. Some of them I'll show you and explain why I'm sending them in. But the first one, you're going to say to yourself, because this is Rise of the Midnight Suns Ghost Rider, issue number 28, first appearance of the Midnight Suns. And you'll say, why are you sending in such a, book that is not rare? Well, this is why. Because this one is actually a newsstand variant. And as you could see, it's still in the original poly bag. So this has never been opened. So it still has the poster and everything inside. And with it being a newsstand variant, these are not as easy to find. So I have recommended over the years, basically, I was way ahead of the curve. About 5 years ago, if not earlier than that, I was telling people to get this book because I had inside information saying that the Rise of the Midnight Suns was coming to the MCU. Everybody, of course, mocked me and ignored me and said I was crazy and all that other fun stuff. But we do know they are planning, unless they cancel it and change their mind, they are planning on doing the Rise of the Midnight Suns. How they do it, we'll find out. But these books used to be mega cheap. And once they do a trailer, if they do a trailer, because like I said, anything can change. What do you think is going to happen to books like this? Do you think they're going to go down, stay the same, or go up? So if you can find these books, especially in the original polybag, because these were polybagged issues, try and get yourself the newsstand, and you could tell because of the barcode, and that's not a line or anything on the barcode. That's actually part of the part of the polybag. So you can see right here, I folded it over, special collectors item issue. So I paid $19.75 for this book. I think that is absolutely worth taking the chance on. Under $20 for a newsstand variant of this book. But then again, like I said, I bought this years ago, so I doubt you'll be able to find them at this price anymore. But you never know, because most people are not looking for these books. And that's the time you really should be grabbing them. Not when everybody else wants them, so you have to go into a bidding war. So, again, $19.75. I'm predicting between a 9.4 and a 9.8. This will probably need a pressing because if you know anything about these polybagged issues, on the back, there's always that lip that you have to separate to open the polybag. And without a pressing, it could leave an indent all the way up and down the back of the book. So no matter who you send the books to, get these pressed. Otherwise, you're going to risk it could go as low as like a 9.0 with that. So one of the things I like, again, PGX has in-house pressings and dry cleaning. So for me, for 20 bucks, definitely worth taking the chance on. Same with this. Not only do they have in-house pressings and dry cleanings, they also have in-house signature verification. So this book is not a key book, but I got it for the signature and for the nice size sketch. That is a really nice cover of Mephisto, but this is Amazing Spider-Man 545. Again, not anything special, but John Romita signed it, and what's his name? Ken Haser did this sketch and signature, and it does come with a signature certificate of authenticity, limited to 499 copies. This is a Dynamic Forces variant. So this is number 17 of 499. So it is numbered. So I just love, I mean, that's about a quarter of the page. So that would be more of a sketch. That's definitely not a remark. But I love the detail, even though it's just Spider-Man's head. Mephisto looks like he's about to get busy, but if anything, he's getting busy with the wrong end of his head. But, that's Mephisto for you. But again, John Romita and Ken Haser. And again, if you read it, it does say limited to 499 copies, signed by John Romita and signed and remarked by Ken Haser. And they do confirm this is number 17 of 499. I paid a total of $81.30 for this book. So I think for the signatures alone, it would be worth it. Again, it'd be nice if this was on a key issue like Amazing Spider-Man 300 or something, but still, it's a variant Dynamic Force issue. It's got a nice cover, and that art and the signatures really are going to make it look well. So for $81, I thought it was definitely worth taking the chance on. 9.4 to 9.8 with white pages. Same thing with the other. I forgot to mention the page quality. I would assume it's white pages. Since it's in a poly bag, I can't open it to check, but I would assume that would be white pages on that book. Next up, I have for years, when I bought this probably 6 years ago, at least, if not longer. And I have only seen one since then on eBay. So you're going to see, and you'll probably say to yourself, okay, Shazam 28, second appearance of Black Adams. What's so special about this book? Well, not only is it a newsstand, but it is a Mark Jewelers insert. So this is a Mark Jewelers variant of Shazam number 28. So it's the second appearance of Black Adam ever. This is the first appearance of Black Adam was in Marvel Family issue number 1 back in the Golden Age. He was never used again, so this is his second appearance. So, like I said, I've only seen one other copy ever for sale of this book. So, I don't know if any of you ever owned one of these or have one, but as far as I can tell, this is a pretty rare book. And I've looked for a while to try and find another copy, and like I said, I only saw one other. So I paid only $134 for this book, but it's actually in pretty decent grade. It's a pretty high grade. Not 9.8 high, but I would say between a 7.5 and an 8.5 range. Off-white to white pages. Definitely worth taking the chance on. And the higher the grade, the more valuable Mark Jewelers inserts are. So, especially when you're talking normally, a Mark Jewelers variant of a book is between 5 and 7% of a total print run. I just wonder how many of these are still in existence because, like I said, unless somebody's hoarding them or people don't know what they have, I've only seen one person ever list one. So I'm sure there's more than two out there, but it's nice to see it's not a book where thousands of them are online. So, you know, check your books. You never know. You might have a diamond in the rough. All right, so last but not least, we got an older Silver Age book. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 12. So early Spider-Man. This is the third appearance of Doc Ock. Roughly a mid-grade book, but I only paid $85.95 for this book. Again, I bought this years ago, and deals are always out there. I'm basically saying after pressing and dry cleaning, between a 4.0 and a 5.0, colors look pretty darn good. And there's a couple of ticks along the spine, but nothing major. Book is complete. You can see the colors. There's a little bit of a, I don't want to know what kind of stain that is. You guys can make your own assumptions. But somebody enjoyed this book maybe a little too much when they were reading it. Maybe that explains the pose. I don't know. But I'll leave that up to your imagination. But for $85.95, I mean, this could be a 2.0 and I'd be happy. But it's definitely going to be better than a 2.0. I'm predicting about a 4.0 to a 5.0 range. So, like I said, around mid grade and with off-white pages. So those are the four books. Yeah, so like I said, I wanted to try and do something different where I was sending in books that I've never shown before. So if you want to thumb it up or thumb it down, I will leave that up to you. And we've got Cash Cow. I'm just going to say Cash Cow. It's just easier than the entire thing. But he says, good afternoon. Same to you. So both of you, Hoppy and Cash Cow. Both of you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. Always appreciate you guys. And let me know, ladies and gentlemen, will you be dressing up for Halloween? And if so, what will you be dressing up as? We'll see how many people actually are going to dress up as comic book heroes. And let's see who can identify each person in the thumbnail. Again, put that in the live chat or in the comments section. Let's see if you know. Some of them are pretty obvious. One's a little confusing, and one might be a little bit harder to be able to figure out the name of the character. So we'll see who knows which one I'm referring to. So with that being said, one more time, let's give a shout out to my paid Patreon members. Come support my channel, patreon.com/LeLoveComics. You'll get early access to any of my auctions. You can make offers before anybody else gets the chance to see them. Let's give our shout outs a shout out. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm not sure if I'm doing a video tomorrow, but check in just in case. Hit subscribe if you want. Hit the notification bell. Just don't hit the person next to you because they might be much larger, and they might punch harder. So with that being said, have a great day, everybody. And don't forget to have your trolls